Most people don't think they waste money. They think they just live their life. They think their spending is normal, controlled, reasonable. But if you look closely, there's a pattern. Money comes in, and somehow it disappears. Not in one big decision, not in something obvious, but slowly, silently, almost invisibly. And the scariest part? You don't even realize it's happening. You just feel the result. At the end of the month, you look at your bank balance and think, where did it all go? This is not a math problem. It's not even a budgeting problem. This is a psychology problem. Because you're not just spending money, you're responding to triggers. You're reacting to emotions. You're following patterns your brain has learned over time. And until you understand these patterns, you will keep wasting money without realizing it. Let's go deeper. Your brain is not designed to build wealth. It's designed to survive. And survival in modern life looks very different. You're not hunting for food. You're not running from danger. But your brain still looks for rewards, comfort, relief, pleasure. And the easiest way to get all three today is spending money. Every time you buy something, your brain rewards you, not because you needed that thing, but because the act of buying feels good. It gives you control. It gives you a sense of progress. It gives you a temporary emotional lift. That's dopamine. And dopamine doesn't care about your bank balance. It cares about the moment. So when you're bored, you scroll. When you're stressed, you order food. When you feel low, you buy something. When you feel successful, you reward yourself. Every emotional state has a spending behavior attached to it. And over time, this becomes automatic. You don't think, you just act. This is where unconscious spending begins. Let's say you had a long, tiring day. You feel drained. Your brain wants relief. You open a food delivery app. You don't ask, do I need this? You ask, what will make me feel better? And just like that, you've spent money. Not because you planned to, but because you felt something. Now multiply that across days, weeks, months, years. That's not spending. That's conditioning. You've trained your brain to associate money with emotional comfort. And breaking that pattern is extremely hard because you're not just changing a habit, you're removing a coping mechanism. Now let's talk about something even deeper: identity. Most people don't realize this, but your financial behavior is deeply tied to how you see yourself. If you see yourself as someone who enjoys life, you will spend to maintain that identity. If you see yourself as someone who works hard and deserves rewards, you will constantly reward yourself. If you see yourself as someone who is bad with money, you will keep proving that belief right. Because your brain hates inconsistency. It wants your actions to match your identity. So even if you try to save, if your identity doesn't support it, you will sabotage it, silently, without realizing it. This is why knowledge doesn't change behavior. You can watch 100 finance videos, read books, understand investing, and still waste money. Because behavior doesn't come from knowledge, it comes from identity. Now, let's talk about the environment, because your environment is designed to make you spend. Every app you use, every website you visit, every ad you see is engineered to capture your attention and convert it into spending. Limited time offer. Only 2 items left. Sale ends tonight. These are not random messages. They are psychological triggers. They create urgency, scarcity, fear of missing out. And your brain reacts instantly. It doesn't think long term. It thinks, what if I miss this? So you buy. Not because you needed it, but because you didn't want to lose the opportunity. This is called loss aversion, and it's one of the strongest psychological forces in money behavior. You feel the pain of missing out more than the pain of losing money. So you choose to spend, again and again. Now, combine this with social media. You open Instagram, you see someone traveling, someone buying a car, someone upgrading their life. And suddenly, your current life feels smaller, even if nothing changed. This is comparison, and comparison creates pressure. Not logical pressure, emotional pressure. You start thinking, I should be doing better. I should have that too. I'm behind. And the fastest way to reduce that feeling is to spend, to upgrade, to match what you see. So you do it. And for a moment you feel better, but that feeling fades and the cycle repeats. Now let's talk about small spending, because this is where most money disappears. Big expenses are visible. You think about them, you plan them. But small expenses? They feel harmless. A coffee, a snack, a subscription, a quick online order. You don't question them because individually they don't hurt, but together they are powerful. They slowly drain your financial potential. This is the illusion of affordability. Just because something is affordable doesn't mean it's harmless. And your brain uses affordability as justification. It's just $5, it's just $10, it's not a big deal. But repeated over time, it becomes a very big deal. Now, here's another hidden behavior: delayed awareness. Most people don't track their spending in real time. They spend first, reflect later. And by the time they reflect, the money is already gone. So there's no emotional connection to the decision, no immediate feedback. And without feedback, behavior doesn't change. Imagine if every time you spent money, you instantly felt the long-term impact. You would behave very differently. But you don't, so you continue. Now, let's talk about comfort, because comfort is one of the biggest enemies of financial growth. When you start earning more, your life becomes easier. You remove friction, you buy convenience, you pay to save time. And while that sounds smart, it also reduces your resistance to spending. You stop thinking twice because you don't need to. And over time, spending becomes your default, not your decision. Now combine all of this: emotions, identity, environment, comparison, convenience, lack of awareness, and you get a system where wasting money is not a mistake, it's the outcome. It's the natural result of how your life is structured. So the question is not, why do you waste money? The real question is, how could you not? Now here's where things start to change, because once you see this, you can't unsee it. You start noticing patterns. You catch yourself before spending. You question your impulses. And slowly, you create space between feeling and action. That space is where control exists. Not in discipline, not in willpower, but in awareness. Because willpower fades, awareness stays. So instead of trying to force yourself to stop spending, start understanding why you spend. Notice your triggers. What do you feel before you spend? Boredom? Stress? Excitement? Insecurity? That awareness alone will reduce your spending more than any budget ever could. Then start changing your environment. Remove triggers, uninstall apps, limit exposure. Because you can't fight temptation forever, but you can reduce it. Next, delay your decisions. Give yourself time. Most impulses don't survive time. What feels urgent today feels unnecessary tomorrow. And finally, shift your identity. Stop seeing yourself as someone who tries to save. Start seeing yourself as someone who controls money. Because the moment your identity changes, your behavior follows, naturally, without force. And that's the real goal. Not to stop spending completely, but to stop spending unconsciously. Because money is not just numbers. It's behavior, it's psychology, it's patterns. And once you understand those patterns, you stop leaking money without realizing it. You stop reacting. You start deciding. And that shift is what separates people who stay stuck from people who actually build wealth over time. You don't have a spending problem, you have a reaction problem. So if you feel like your money disappears every month, if you feel like you should be doing better, if you feel like you're working hard but not moving forward, it's not because you're careless, it's because your system is designed that way. But now you see it, and once you see it, you can change it. Slowly,
intentionally, one decision at a time.